Hi YouTube, this is KWall0307 with a new series. I'm going to call it Retro Day. I am not sure what day I'm going to do it on, or I would have called it Retro Wednesday. It's not always going to be on Wednesday, depending on how busy I am, but I'm going to review stuff that was from my childhood, whether it's games, food, TV shows, movies, etc. First up, Boy Meets World. Um, I used to watch this on the TGIF. If you don't know what TGIF, then you should probably watch something else. But TGIF was the Friday night lineup for ABC, which everyone had to watch. I think it had Step by Step, Family Matters, Boy Meets World, something else. I'm not sure. I can't even remember. It's been so long. um, it's like ABC, like their whole thing, like they would get all their audience on one day. Like TGIF was so big at the time, but now it's like Shark Tank and something else. So like, TGIF's dead now. But Boy Meets World was a show. It stars Ben Savage as Corey. You might recognize the Savage name because Fred Savage is his brother and he was on The Wonder Years. He ends up directing a few episodes in later seasons, and he's in one of the shows that he directs. So it's nice to see Wonder Years, and the father from Wonder Years is on co-star on one of the shows. That's good to see, but it's mainly Ben Savage as Corey going through school and problems with that. He interacts with his teacher, Mr. Feeney, which played by William Daniels. You might recognize that name or his voice from Kid from the Knight Rider show. He and Corey interact well together in the first couple seasons, and then he kind of cuts back later. Corey has a best friend. His name is Sean Hunter. Sean Hunter, if you didn't know, he was supposed to be a one and done character. A one and done character is supposed to be a one show and then die off. But he was so popular, he kept getting shows, and then he kept getting lines. They ended up in one of the first shows. This is the one where Corey straightens his hair because he thinks he's weird. They give Sean more lines because they thought he was doing a good job, but it ended up being like confusing to the people who've watched it before. He says he has a sister who knows how to straighten hair, and that's the only mention of his sister because Sean doesn't have a sister. So it was originally supposed to be said by a different character, but time constraints or something, they just gave the lines to Sean. So that's the reason why he has a sister in the first season and never ever else, anytime else. Uh, Will Friedle plays Eric, his brother. He's a romantic. He plays brother pretty good. He's in. He voices now on the Batman show. He's a voice actor. But in the show, he's at first like all girl crazy, and then during the later years, they make him look stupid. They make him look retarded. I don't agree with that. And Corey and Eric don't really hang out in the first couple seasons, and then um, Eric kind of like tries to interact with him in the later years, but wasn't happening. It's kind of sad. Uh, there's a lot of co-stars on the show. Minkus was the funny, like, he wasn't funny, but he was the smart one. He interacted with Sean, like they would do like um like trailer trash jokes, like, because Sean lives in a trailer, of course. They would do teacher's pet and jokes like that. And then there's Topanga. Topanga is Corey's love. Well, not during the first season, but his love interest and future wife. If you didn't know, Topanga was supposed to be also a one and done character. She's portrayed by Daniel Fishel. Daniel Fishel was supposed to. She's auditioning for a different part of the Boy Meets World. Marla Sokolov was originally supposed to play Topanga, but she didn't get it, and they ended up flip flopping Daniel Fishel and then Marla Sokolov. Marla Sokolov's character just was on one show, and then Daniel Fishel as Topanga got like popular, and then she stayed on for the duration of the show. It was a good show. I watched it basically every Friday, as everyone else did. I still watch it. I still watch the reruns. I have the first season. Um, this, I, when it ended with Topanga and Corey moving to New York for an internship. And Corey ends up being a teacher, so he's in the Mr. Feeney role now, which is kind of ironic because they're starting a new show called Girl Meets World. So I don't know if that's gonna work. I honestly don't think it's gonna work. Because like you find a gem once in a while, but hardly ever it works again. Like so many like sequels don't work. All right. There's a lot of guest appearances. There's a lot of wrestlers. Vader was on it as he was in it. Jake Roberts, Mick Foley. Mick Foley was funny on it. I remember. Also, Matthew Lawrence was on it as Sean's half brother. Sean had a half brother in like season 3, which is another problem with the show. It's kind of like it loses track of its ideas. He had a brother in the season 2 or 3 who steals from the trailer park that Sean lives at, and it's never shown again. And then he gets his half brother back in like the later seasons, and then all the time he says he writes his brother who's not living in the state, which kind of doesn't make sense, but you don't really care. And then Sean just goes through a lot of like loss. Like he loses his mother, like, well, not dead, but like she leaves. His dad leaves. Everyone that Sean was into, like, he left. That was a hard character to portray. But this is a show from my childhood that I watched, and it's retro to me. Still watch it to this day. I say thumbs up to this and go check it out if you haven't. I don't know why you wouldn't have watched it. Thank you for watching my retro, I'm just going to say Retro Wednesday. Tune in next week when I review something else retro. Thank you, YouTube, and subscribe and leave a comment if you watched Boy Meets World or you know what I'm talking about. TGIF, it doesn't matter. If you knew anything about Boy Meets World or like this idea or hate this idea, drop a comment and have a great night.